Good afternoon, guys. So it took this much time. Okay, no problem. So as said yesterday, I hope you are ready with ELB and the EC2 instance. Guys, I will send. See, 15th September is the last day, right? I will definitely send by that time. You can share it, right? Hmm? Don't worry, I'll send. Definitely send. Um, okay, so done with EC2 and ELB. So today I'll just show you how to create an auto scaling. Just give me a minute. I'm just opening the things. Um, so go to the in the left navigation, you can just go to auto scaling. Under the auto scaling, just click on the launch configuration. Guys, please follow. Okay. So click on the launch configuration. So I asked you to create the EC2 and the elastic load balancer. Yeah, I'm not talking. Just give me a minute. So in the launch configuration, create a launch configuration. Guys, just hold on. Yeah, I'm just getting some important calls. I need to definitely attend. Okay, so if I get a call, I may not be audible, but I'll come back. Yeah, please. Yeah, please try to understand. Okay, so in the launch configuration, in the name, you can just give some name like launch configuration. And in the AMI, you have to go back to the instance, launch an instance, and take this AMI ID, take this AMI ID and paste it here. You would be getting this a record like this. You can just select that. Yeah, Shashi, even I have seen that. Why there are a lot of participants with the same name? Guys, I see Chandu Shivashankar. Why there are a lot of people with different names? Sorry, the other way around. All having the same name. Who is Chandu Shivashankar? They sent their link. Ante? Okay. Okay. Acha. No problem, right? If different people are joining, it's okay. Even if we have same name. Okay. No problem. No problem then. That's okay. So coming back to this. So once you're done with this AMI, go to instance type. Here, just give T2 micro. T2 micro. And just now go to advanced details. Go to advanced details. Ma'am, what is the difference between launch template and launch configuration? Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. So a launch template and launch configuration is actually they're little similar. Okay, so we can use either launch template or launch configuration for creating an auto scaling group. Okay, so and launch configuration is specific to auto scaling group, whereas launch template is something like if you create a launch template and from that template you can create an EC2 instance also. That is a difference. So let's take I want to create an EC2 instance, but may not be now. But I would create with this kind of template almost every day. So instead of selecting all the options manually by remembering, what you can do, you can create a launch template. From the template, you can create an instance. And this launch configuration is specifically for auto scaling group. Okay. So coming back to this, in the additional configuration, just scroll down completely, go to advanced details, and here you have to paste the script. Okay, and in the index.html line, you need to just give auto scaling instance. Auto scaling instance, just give this name. Okay, scroll down and add HTTP. Just keep it as anywhere. add HTTP, just keep it as anywhere. Choose the existing key pair. Any key pair is fine. Acknowledge it and create it. And create it. Okay. Now, once you create a launch configuration, click on the launch configuration, go to actions, and create an auto scaling group. Okay. Balaji, see, I don't want to be rude, but guys, you have to follow. So I waited for the long time. Yesterday also we completed the EC2 and the ELB. You are supposed to be with me, and even I'm getting calls. I'm also giving time in between. And again, you're asking me to start from launch configuration. See, I am in seriously in an emergency. Even then I'm taking class just because, see, I don't want to skip the class. So then you have to cooperate and do what I'm doing here. You cannot ask again. See, from the instance type, choose an instance type and select T2 micro. You can select this and choose that. And in the advanced configuration, just scroll down, go to advanced details and paste the script here. Okay, once you paste the script, scroll down, just keep the default volumes and add HTTP and keep it as anywhere. Add the rule HTTP and source, keep it as anywhere. In the key pair, choose an existing or a new key pair, doesn't matter. You can just do whatever you want it because we are not at all using this key pair. The script is important. You have to copy the script. I'm not doing it because I'm just showing you. You have to copy the script, and in the script, in the index page, you have to give manual auto scaling instead of manual. Replace this manual as auto scaling and create the auto scaling group. Once you've done it, create a launch configuration. I'm sorry, not auto scaling. Add HTTP. Please don't forget this. This is important. Add HTTP, key pair, volumes. You can just keep it as default one, and the script. T2 micro and the AMI. Make sure you choose the AMI, which is the first one, Amazon Linux 2 AMI. Okay, I hope you're done now. Yeah, I'm sorry. So now click on the launch configuration. Click on the launch configuration, go to actions and create an auto scaling group. Click on the launch configuration, go to actions and create an auto scaling group. Okay, now just give a name. Just give auto scaling group. Just give a name. Just give a name. And the launch configuration would be selected already, right? If it is not there, just click on the launch configuration and select the one which we have created, which you have, excuse me, created. Okay, and then go to the next step. Yeah, in the second step, just choose the default VPC and select all the subnets. Just select all the subnets. Okay, Once you select all the subnets, go to the third step. Go to third step. And make sure you enable the load balancing. Guys, if you don't do this now, the instances will not be created in the target group. So you have to select the load balancer and select the target group. Click on the application or the network load balancer. Select the target group which we have created, which you have created. Okay, so we can just leave this health checks and additional and go to the next step. Guys, you following? Tell me it's okay. You're with me, right? Correct. Cool. Okay. Now coming to the fourth step, what you need to do is desired as 2, capacity, minimum capacity is 2 and maximum is 5. You can keep desired minimum as 2 and maximum as 5. Okay. And enable the policy. Enable the policy and keep target value as 80. That's okay. You can give anything. Instance need 30 seconds. Okay. So make sure you keep the target value more than 50. After 50, anything is fine. 60, 70, 80 or something like that. Okay. So once it's done, scroll down and go to next step. Yeah. So what we have done, we kept desired and minimum as 2, maximum as 5. And in the scaling policies, enable this and keep the target value as 80 and the instance is 30 seconds to warm up. Just enable all these things and go to next. So we are not adding any notifications. You can just go to the next step again. The sixth step where you would be adding the tags. Just give a name like auto scaling instance. Auto scaling instance. Yeah, anything is fine. Go to the last step, which is a review step, and create auto scaling group. Create auto scaling group. Okay. Guys, you're with me? Yes. Done till here. We are ready to host it. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So next thing, what, Sujita? Unable to create the, okay, so it is throwing an error. Sujita, just give me a minute. Tota Sujita, okay. Can you share your screen, dear? That's okay. That's okay, Mohammed. Let it be, do whatever it want. So it'll take time. Give me 5 minutes, dear. We are going forward. How can I give you 5 minutes? So go to instances now, guys. They're using phone. Go to instances. Okay. Go to instances and refresh it. So it has to create 2 instances. Because we have kept desired and minimum as 2, it would create 2 instances. Is it the same with everyone except Sujita? Okay. If it is same, what you need to do is take the elastic load balancer DNS name. Okay. Go to the browser and refresh. So it should be manual from auto scaling 141, auto scaling again 141, auto scaling 117. So it should be resolving into 3 IP addresses. If it is not happening for anyone, please let me know. We'll debug. Mohammed, is it working fine for you? Is that fine? ELB order నాకెందుకు ఇచ్చావు చైతన్య చెక్ చేయనా సరే చేస్తా ఒక్క నిమిషం చూద్దాం చైతన్య అని ఓపెన్ అండ్ ట్యాబ్ give it here auto scaling 106 auto scaling 61 manual perfect ఏ అందరు ఇవ్వకండి ఇట్స్ ఓకే అందరు వర్క్ చేస్తే చాలు ఇట్స్ ఫైన్ ఓకే ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఎవరికి వర్క్ చేయట్లేదు అంటే సుజితకి షీఈస్ టెల్లింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎస్టర్డే దట్ ఇట్స్ థ్రోయింగ్ అన్ ఎర్రర్ లెట్స్ సీ హర్స్ ఓకే సో గైస్ అయిపోయిందా అందరిది అయిపోయిందా ఎనీ ఇష్యూ అది అయిపోయింది అంటే విల్ గో ఫర్ క్లీనప్ బై ద టైమ్ Sujita hand overs that her screen. So how do we clean up? Come from auto scaling, click on the auto scaling group, delete it. Just type delete. ఒక్క నిమిషం బాలాజీ అయిపోయిందా నీది కూడా బాలాజీ ఇస్ డన్ బాలాజీ రెడీ oh cool okay so delete it so it takes time to delete it it's okay in that meanwhile go to auto scaling go to launch configuration and please delete that also go to actions and delete launch configuration okay now go to ELB load balancers go to actions and delete it go to target group click on target group go to actions and delete that also now go to instances by the time you go to instances auto scaling group would be deleting the auto scaling instances okay so don't touch the auto scaling instance just click on the manual one go to actions and instance state terminate please delete that also terminate that also okay and now cross check again target group is done load balancer is done launch configuration is done and even the auto scaling group should be okay so it's still deleting it's okay we'll give some time for that to delete and the instances should be terminated done yeah so we'll wait for Sujita Okay. In that meanwhile, let me just open the Sujita. Okay, Sujita is trying and she's not able to connect through Lappy. Okay, 1 second, guys. Um, CloudWatch is a monitoring service which will monitor uh, all the services by default. Okay, where it will also create the logs. Okay, we can also create alarms on top of it, so that according to that alarms we can take an action. Okay. Uh, Guys, uh, so can you please paste the meeting link in the group? I mean, Sujita is not able to connect, it seems. I don't know why. Just give me a minute. Um, Guys, 1 second. Sujita, can you able to connect, or have you connected? Teja, alarms. See, alarms అయితే ఎస్ఎంఎస్ ఎందుకు? ఎస్ఎంఎస్ అసలు ఏంటి? నోటిఫికేషన్స్ కి. If you want to receive a notification, let me just share my screen. I'll tell you. Just give me a minute. అమ్మా, తేజ ఇది చూడు. See, for example, ఏం అడుగుతున్నావు నువ్వు అంటే, ఒక్క నిమిషం మధ్యలో మనం స్కిప్ చేస్తే, ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ విల్ వర్క్ ఆన్ లాంచ్, టర్మినేట్, స్టాప్డ్ ఆపరేషన్స్ ని నోటిఫై చేయడానికి. కరెక్ట్. వై కాంట్ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ విల్ వర్క్ ఆన్ అలార్మ్స్ టు? నా 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 సి ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇలా చేద్దాం. EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఉంది. ఓకే. EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ని మనం మానిటర్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేకుండా క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. వీ హ్యావ్ క్లౌడ్ వాచ్. ఓకే. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 80 అయితే పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ తగ్గిపోతుంది కాబట్టి మేబీ ఐ వాంట్ టు యాడ్ వన్ మోర్, ఆర్ ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ నాకు నోటిఫై కావాలి అని అనుకుంటున్నాను. యాడ్ పక్కన పెట్టు. సో నాకు సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ 80 అయితే నాకు తెలవాలి అని అన్నప్పుడు క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ ని ఎనేబుల్ చేసి క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ లో అలార్మ్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. విల్ క్రియేట్ అన్ అలార్మ్ ఆన్ ఎ మెట్రిక్ కాల్డ్ సిపియు. సో సిపియు ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక గివెన్ థ్రెషోల్డ్ క్రాస్ చేస్తుందో, ఎప్పుడైతే క్రాస్ చేస్తుందో అలార్మ్ ట్రిగర్ చేయని చెప్తాం. సో వెన్ ద అలార్మ్ ఇస్ ట్రిగర్డ్ ఏమవుతుంది అంటే అదేం చేంజెస్ చేయదు. అలార్మ్ విల్ నాట్ డూ ఎనీ చేంజెస్. ఇట్ విల్ జస్ట్ బి సీన్ ఇన్ క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ డాష్ బోర్డ్. ఒక రెడ్ కలర్ మార్క్ తో క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ డాష్ బోర్డ్ లో కనిపిస్తుంది మనకి అలార్మ్ ట్రిగర్ అవ్వగానే. ఓకే. సో వన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ట్రిగర్డ్, అలార్మ్ ట్రిగర్ అయింది అని చెప్పేసి రెడ్ కలర్ మార్క్ లో కనిపిస్తుంది. మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే మనం ప్రతిసారి డాష్ బోర్డ్కి వెళ్ళి చూసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేకుండా ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ని మనం ఎనేబుల్ చేస్తాం. ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఏంటి? సింపుల్ నోటిఫికేషన్ సర్వీస్. మనం ఇంకా డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు, ఇప్పుడు మనం స్లైడ్స్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం. వాట్ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ విల్ డూ? ఈ అలార్మ్ ట్రిగర్ అవ్వగానే ఈ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ అనే టాపిక్ కి మనం సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోవాలి మన ఈమెయిల్ ఐడితో, సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే. సో ఈమెయిల్ ఐడితో సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకుంటే ఇక్కడ అలార్మ్ రాగానే ఈ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఒక నోటిఫికేషన్ ఈమెయిల్ కి పంపిస్తుంది విత్ సచ్ సమ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. అది చూసి మనం ఇక్కడ రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వచ్చు టు క్రియేట్ అన్ అనదర్ EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆర్ టు చెక్ వై ద సిపి ప్లేస్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ అప్, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దాట్. అలా అవుతుంది ప్రాసెస్. అర్థమైందా తేజ? ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ గ్రూప్ లో అదొకటైతే సరే ఫైన్ కూల్. ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ గ్రూప్ లో ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఎందుకు ఉంది అంటే ఎప్పుడన్నా ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ గ్రూప్ EC2 ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కానీ టర్మినేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కానీ ఫెయిల్ టు క్రియేట్ కానీ ఫెయిల్ టు టర్మినేట్ కానీ ఎప్పుడన్నా అవుతున్నప్పుడు నాకు నోటిఫై అవ్వాలి నా మెయిల్ కి అనేది ఇక్కడ ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ గ్రూప్ లో చేసేది. ఓకే. అది క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ అలార్మ్ గురించి, ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ గురించి. చైతన్య ఏం అడుగుతున్నాడు? ఒక్క నిమిషం. సో నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి? రెడ్ షిఫ్ట్. మ్యామ్ రెడ్ షిఫ్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి? డెఫినెట్లీ సుజిత. సో రెడ్ షిఫ్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే ఇట్స్ అ వేర్ హౌసింగ్ సొల్యూషన్. మనం ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం కదా రెడ్ షిఫ్ట్ గురించి డేటాబేస్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు. uh, Redshift is also is a relational database service like RDS. అయితే రెండు రిలేషన్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి? RDS ఏంటి అంటే we can use RDS for transactions like insert, update, delete, select and all. Okay. ట్రెడిషనల్ అప్లికేషన్స్ మనం ఆర్డిఎస్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం, లైక్ మనం నార్మల్ అప్లికేషన్సే కానీ జీమెయిలే కానీ ఫేస్బుకే కానీ ఏదైతే కానీ. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ ఎనీ అప్లికేషన్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ we will be using the relational database service. In AWS it is called RDS. Okay, but Redshift is a collection of databases. It's a data warehousing. It's also a relational database service, RDBMS. Okay, but this Redshift is for data warehousing. Ante, for example, if you have an application using from almost 10 to 15 years, okay, ante you have a database which have data for 10 to 15 years, but in your traditional applications you will not have a database which has all 10 to 15 years of data. No, you will have only last 2 to 3 years of data. Ante previous years data ante ఏమైపోతుంది, యాక్చువల్గా వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఆటోమేట్ చేసి డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ కి మూవ్ చేస్తారు, so that we can do analytics on it. Okay, so that is the reason RDS is OLTP, online transaction processing. This Redshift is OLAP, online analytical processing. అలా అన్నమాట. దానికి రెండింటికి డిఫరెన్స్, RDS కి Redshift కి. యా, డీప్ రేజర్ గురించి నాకు పెద్దగా ఐడియా లేదు పా. నో, ఐ డోంట్ నో యాక్చువల్లీ, ఫ్రాంక్లీ. సరేనా, ఇప్పుడు సుజిత అది మనం ఫిక్స్ చేద్దాం. సుజిత రెండు ఉన్నాయి సుజిత నీ పేరు మీద. సో షేర్ యువర్ స్క్రీన్ సుజిత. Stop sharing and let me share. Finish అంటే తేజ, మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం స్లైడ్స్ లో రేపు. ఈరోజు ఏంటి థర్స్డేనా, రేపు అయిపోతుంది. నో వరీస్, జస్ట్ రావు 53 ఎస్ఎస్ ఉన్నాయి, చేద్దాం. సుజిత ప్లీజ్ షేర్ యువర్ స్క్రీన్. సుజిత ఉన్నావా? ఓకే ఓకే, చూద్దాం అసలు. లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ టేక్ ద కంట్రోల్ హియర్. సో ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, నువ్వు ఐఏఎం యూజరా? అది సంగతి. అబ్బా, సి యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఐ థింక్ ఎడ్యుకేట్ అకౌంట్, అవునా? అందుకే రావట్లేదు, పెద్ద విషయం కాదు, నేనేం చేయలేను దీనికి. ఓకే, సి పర్మిషన్స్ లేవు నీ యూజర్కి, బట్ వన్స్ యూ క్రియేటెడ్ ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్ ఫర్ యూ. That's not the problem with with your options. It is just that you don't have rule or role to access it. రూట్ యూజర్ కావాలా అని కాదు కానీ అట్లీస్ట్ మీ యూజర్ కి ఈజీ టు ఫుల్ యాక్సెస్ ఉండాలి. వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వలేదు అంటే ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ ఎనేబుల్ చేసేస్తే ర్యాండమ్ గా క్రియేట్ అయిపోతాయేమో అని చెప్పేసి ఇవ్వలే అనుకుంటా. నో వరీస్ డియర్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ యువర్ ఇష్యూ. ఐ మీన్ ఒకవేళ నీకు పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ కూడా ట్రై చేయి, మనం పర్సనల్ గా మాడుకుందాం. ఓకే సి హేమంత్, మేబీ లైక్ ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఒక్కొక్క డిఫరెంట్ పర్మిషన్స్ లాగా వచ్చుంటాయి. దట్స్ ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు మనం వేరే వాళ్ళు మనకి ఇచ్చిన అకౌంట్స్ గురించి మనం ఏం కమెంట్ చేయలేము, బికాస్ ఇట్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ దెమ్ వాట్ యాక్సెస్ దే హ్యావ్ గివెన్ టు అస్. అలా అనమాట. సరేనా? చలో గైస్, సీతా యూ కెన్ స్టాప్ షేరింగ్ యువర్ స్క్రీన్. లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ గో టు ద స్లైడ్స్ నౌ. ఒకవేళ నీకు పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ ప్లీజ్ ట్రై చేయి, ఓకేనా? అదే పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ ఉంటే క్రియేట్ చేయి, ఏం కాదు, అంతా మనం ఫ్రీ టైర్ లోనే చేస్తాం కాబట్టి యూ కెన్ ట్రై టు డూ ఇట్ అండ్ దెన్ లెట్ మీ నో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ థ్రోయింగ్ ఎన్ ఎర్రర్. ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ ఇట్ ఇస్ నాట్. ఓహో, నువ్వు ప్రాజెక్ట్ సబ్మిట్ చేయాలి కదా. సరే, ప్లీజ్ డూ దట్. క్రియేట్ అ పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ అండ్ డూ ఇట్. లేకపోతే వేరే వాళ్ళు ఇక్కడ నీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైనా ఈ క్లాస్ అటెండ్ అవుతున్నారంటే వాళ్ళ అకౌంట్ డీటెయిల్స్ తీసుకో, వాళ్ళ దాంట్లో చేయి, ఏముంది చేసేసి సబ్మిట్ చేసి అలాగైనా చేయొచ్చు. Please guys, someone if you can help her, please do it. Okay, so coming back to our slide, questions అయిపోయినాయా? సరే, చేద్దాం. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so implementing elasticity, high availability and monitoring. So the module overview is to design an environment that is highly available, scaling your compute resources, scaling your databases, and monitoring. Okay, so first comes with the designing an environment that is highly available. So this highly available system can withstand some measures of degradation. Okay. Can withstand some measures of degradation while remaining available. Okay, so even if there is an issue, some sort of thing, your application would be available. It will reduce the downtime. Okay, so require minimal human intervention. So you need not do a lot of things. You need not interrupt it. Okay, and recover from failure or roll over to secondary source in an acceptable amount of degraded performance time. So when it is having some sort of issue, if you are having some sort of issue, okay, you can recover it in a particular period of time, so it will not affect the application. Okay, now coming to the load balancer. So this load balancing, the ELB which we are talking about, it distributes the incoming application traffic across all the targets such as physical instances, IP addresses in multiple availability zones. And it can be external facing or internal facing. That means internet or internal facing. And each load balancer receives a DNS name and recognizes and responds to unhealthy instances. So as said, the load balancer will only distribute the traffic only to the healthy instances, right? So how do we work with load balancer? By giving the DNS name. We have seen that. Coming to the features of load balancer, okay, coming to the features of load balancer, we have three types of load balancers. One is an application load balancer, network load balancer and classic load balancer. There are key differences between these three load balancers. The application load balancer and the network load balancer, you the application load balancer and network load balancer, you have a target group. For example, you have load balancer. Okay. And for both application and network. Okay. So you have a target group and you will have a target so that the load balancer will send traffic to the target. This is the target group. Okay. So you'll have this kind of infrastructure. But for classic load balancer, for CLB, the targets are actually directly attached to the load balancer. Like this. Something like this. Okay. That's some of the differences. I mean, for both, for ALB and NLB, you will have a target group, but for CLB, you will not have a target group. And you can select a load balancer based on your application if that's okay. Okay. And coming to the classic load balancer. So this classic load balancer provides basic load balancing across multiple instances. And this load balancer is intended for applications that were built within EC2 classic network. Yes. So what is EC2 classic network? If you would have okay. So if you have created an AWS account before 2014, you can have your EC2 instances in a EC2 classic network. Yes. Okay. That means without a VPC. So EC2 instances can be there without a VPC. But now you see in your account, you cannot create an EC2 instance without VPC. Okay. So we can use a classic load balancer if you have instances which are not with VPC, which are not created in VPC. That's basically called EC2 classic network. Okay. And this classic load balancer send the request directly to the EC2 instances. And AWS would recommend application load balancer for layer 7 and network load balancer for layer 4 when using the VPC. Okay. So the layer 7 and the layer 4 are basically the OSI model layers. So what is OSI? If a machine needs to talk to another machine, if a server needs to communicate with other machine, you have a networking model which is called OSI, Open System Interconnect, where a physical layer of a machine needs to talk to a physical layer, data link layer, network, inter-network, session, presentation layer. Exactly, the application layer and the network layer, correct. Okay, so the application layer will work at the 7th layer and the network load balancer will work at the 4th layer. And AWS would recommend to use the application and the network load balancer when you are distributing the traffic to the instances which are in VPC, not the classic load balancer. So this classic load balancer is still supported by AWS just because of the EC2 classic network instances. And what are the key features? It supports for EC2 classic and support for TCP and SSL listeners. And next we have application load balancer. So the application load balancer, it's also called a content-based routing, or it supports content-based routing. Because under a load balancer, you can have multiple target groups and different listeners. You can have different listeners. That means, for example, if your load balancer is having, or if you're actually trying to access the load balancer from HTTP request, then you can send the request to HTTP to this target group, or if you have HTTPS, you can send request to this target group. That's one thing. And other thing is, I mean, a specific protocol, you can just change the routing to a specific protocol or the listener, one thing. Or, for example, if you have photos here in the instances and you have videos here in these instances. So if a load balancer path is having photos as a keyword, I think I already discussed this. Then the request will be sent to this target group. Meena Kumari, what happened? Why you have raised your hand? And if your load balance is having videos as a keyword, then the request can be sent to this target group. Okay. So this load balancer serves as a single point of contact for clients. So usually we will be using this load balancer DNS name. We don't use the instances IP addresses. First point. And a listener checks for connection request from clients using the protocol and the port that you configure, and forward request to one or more target groups based on the rules that you define. Okay. And coming to the features is content-based routing, support for container-based applications, better metrics, and support for additional protocols and workloads. Okay. Coming to the network load balancer. So this network load balancer was introduced in 2017. And this network load balancer is basically designed to handle tens of millions of requests per second while maintaining high throughput at ultra low latency with no effort on your part. And this network load balancer functions at the fourth layer of the OSI model. And the network load balancer works at the seventh layer of the OSI model. Okay. And I said that it is designed to handle tens of millions of requests, basically for high throughput and a good performance. So how we have good performance in network load balancer? So whenever we create a network load balancer, AWS would create an IP address in each availability zone. 1A, 1B, 1. It will create an IP address. The IP per AZ feature reduces the latency with improved performance, improves availability through isolation and fault tolerance, and makes the use of network load balancers transparent to your client application. Coming to the benefits. So we can ability to handle volatile workloads and scale to millions of requests per second, support for container-based applications, and support for monitoring the health of each service independently. Okay, so application load balancer is little, we can call it little intelligent. According to the content, it can send the route, it can send the traffic. But network load balancer, it is just to handle the speed. It's okay. It just transmit the network packets. Okay, and the application load balancer is used for the applications, HTTP and HTTPS protocols. Okay, and the other protocols were supported by the network load balancer. And coming to the internet load balancer. So we have two types of load balancer when talk about just load balancer, internet and internal. When you create a load balancer in a VPC, you must choose whether you want an internal or an internet. In internet, the nodes of internet load balancer has a public IP address. You have a DNS name. Okay. And you have the nodes, which will have the public IP addresses. And the DNS of the internet load balancer can resolvable, is publicly resolvable to the public IP address of the nodes. Therefore, internet facing load balancers can route requests from clients over the internet. Okay. Now, coming to the internal load balancer, the nodes of internal load balancer have only a private IP address, and the DNS of the internal load balancer is publicly resolvable to a private IP address of the nodes. That means the instances can be in a private subnet. This will have only private IP addresses, and it will interact with the public instances. The requests coming from the public instances will be equally distributed to the private instances. Okay. And we also have a cross-zonal load balancing. So what is cross-zonal load balancing? If the cross-zonal load balancing is enabled, if it is enabled, let's take you are getting 100 requests from the users. All the 100 requests are distributed equally to all the instances, you see? To all the instances. But if the cross-zonal load balancing is disabled, for example, if you are getting 100 requests, okay, the request would be divided into each availability zone equally. So 50, 50 like this. And this node will resolve into the instances. But if you see here, if you have more instances in one availability zone and less instances in another availability zone, it should be a problem. See, these instances are getting 25 requests, whereas these instances are getting only 6. Okay. So that's about the cross-zonal load balancing, guys. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just wind up the call now. Yeah. We'll just continue from here, from tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Chalo. Bye, guys. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll just continue with this load balancer. And then we'll cover the other topics also, like Route 53 and all. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Chalo. Bye-bye.